Okay, so this is future of the video that's already been shot for this. That's going to come here in a moment. Don't jump ahead on me. We got upgrades, stuff changed, everything. First off, Nova chip that's back on the wall. I went and put points and condenser inside of this. New old stock on the points. Put all that in there. Added this, the belt drive for the starter setup that I was going to use, but 1 horsepower apparently isn't enough to turn it over, even get it started to turn over. So much compression this has got. I put the tungsten carburetor on like I said I was going to, and you're going to find out, you're going to see this one's a little iffy, but it did do the job and everything like we're doing. The intent, sole purpose of this whole video series is to test this intake, not the build process of what's going on here and everything. So that's why I didn't show me putting the points in and stuff. I got videos on points and stuff like that and everything. But so swapped it over, everything like that. Good to go. I did take off the intake. Oh man, look at this. It's just dripping fuel everywhere. There's going to be so much fuel inside this engine. Oh my gosh, it's just going to come out everywhere. Is it? Oh my gosh, it's like wanting to drip out from somewhere on this thing. Like, I don't understand. This carburetor right here, it worked, but it was finicky. Anyways, so I put a Tilly carb on it, which I had a different one. This one, the needle and C, I couldn't replace despite rebuilding it. New kits, apparently they're dumb, and you can't do that anymore. So, got a recommendation on a kit for actual HL36Es, you know, let me know. So, alright, I took the intake off, sanded it flat, made sure and everything. I should have done that from the beginning and didn't. It did have a couple high spots. Did that to be sure of everything. So did that, redid the gaskets. There was nothing wrong with the gasket or anything like that. That was just my mistake to begin with. So did that, bolted it back on. It's great. Put the Tilly adapter on there. Put this carb that wants to leak everywhere. Apparently, even with the fuel line clamped off, still leaking everywhere in places. That's just beyond ridiculous. Yeah, starter, that, gasket, everything, whatnot. Bought a temp gun. You're gonna see that in the video too. It lights up everything, tells temperature. I've got it in press the trigger and everything. So there you go. I'm 89.7. Close enough. 98, 89, same difference. So we have that. We have the tachometer and everything. So I wanted to be as scientific as I could when it comes to temperature. So during it, I yell it. I haven't even looked at the video yet. I yelled out loud, but in the end, we do heat soak and stuff like that and whatnot. And everything. But the intake after the fact here is still holding up. It's still doing good. But you're going to have to see the testing video on it to determine yourself on what you think about it. Everything vibrated like hell. As normal, the engine come loose despite, you know, lock nuts and everything. It said, nope, we're gonna come loose on that. But in the end, it's still, I think it turned out great. Let me know what you think in the comments on this and everything. What you think of a future of 3D printed intakes are and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure there's other people that may have done this. I didn't really find anything on that, but my 3D printed gaskets on the front are working fantastically. I don't see any problems with them or stuff like that. The intake, despite being leaked on by gasoline every which where, and I don't know why and where fuel's coming from, this carb might be faulty. So all over that, the intake is holding up perfectly. I don't see degrading or layer separations or stuff like that. So anyways, we're going to jump into it. Oh, also, ventilation. If you check my Instagram, ventilation 2.0. So I have that there, up, around, up there, down, and back outside. So in the video, I think I say it, but it keeps takes 95% the way it's set up at the moment. 95% of the smoke out, and I can live with what little bit was in here for the time I was running this and everything. So I think that's pretty good and fantastic and everything. So, all right, anyways, let's jump to those videos. And this is the last you're probably going to see of this introduction. I finish it up in the next segment. Hope you enjoy. I wasn't really planning on running it at that moment, but I kind of got it. It ran. I'm like, screw it. It's going. We're just going to turn the camera on and go. So it was kind of an on-the-fly setup and everything and whatnot. But either way, it's valid testing that was done on that. The McCulloch 176 99cc engine. It did valiant. It's fantastic. It is still a very strong engine right here. Very strong. So, all right. I'm yammering. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Yes, last thing. Super thank you to you all for supporting and watching the channel. YouTube payment came in, and I've got a new heater. The other one's wick system gave out on me, so had this up and running right before the video and everything, and kept it a nice toasty warm. Got toasty and warm in here pretty quick, and got shut off and ran video. But yeah, like I say, supporters, we're gonna stay warm this winter. You know, well, at least I will, unless you come over and we BS in the garage and stuff. But, all right, let's get to the video. Better get all unnecessary personnel out. Goody. She's got compression, that's for sure. Why do I have a fork on my workbench? That's going to fall off in short time. A little bit of fuel. Ow! Guess I need to carve a little thing into the side here. Starting to pump fuel. I get a steady RPM reading here. Not fuel. Alright, starting temps. I've already run it a little bit. Block's at 100 degrees. Intake is at 91. 81, 78 right here. Carburetor's at 66. So, try to stay scientific with this. Scientific as you can get. Turns out is that half or 3/4. Trying to turn it down and it's It's impossible. Ugh. Yeah, we're only running like what, 300 RPM? Running really rich. Let's see where these are all at. Well, that's way too much. Half. 1 3/4, a little over 3/4 for that. Kind of like that other carburetor better. We're gonna have to open the throttle up for this one. Let's see what temps are at. Engine, cylinder, 160, 170, intake, 75. Right here, said it doesn't know what it wants. Get it closer. 69. Carburetor, 57. Ambient temperature of this place was at 65, and then the thing disappeared. Yeah, it fell off. So we've got a starting warm up of 165 degrees. Not too bad. Get this thing restarted is going to suck. I think it's trying to flood out. Not having a high speed, being able to two-hand this. Yeah, it's gonna suck. And my cord keeps wanting to do weird stuff. Something I can stick under for a high idle. The second it starts up, it can fall out and vibrate itself out without getting completely entangled inside the engine. That'd be cool. There we go. Can't imagine we lost spark. I think we lost spark. That's what I'm thinking. Alright. Carburetor's doing what it did when I stuck it on before. I don't know how I'm going to start this video other than maybe we'll have some introduction. We'll just jump right in and stuff. But I've got spark, but the plug is completely wet. This carburetor, I stuck it on before, it did this, and now it's doing it again, even after a complete rebuild and everything. I don't even think it got above 6,000 RPM, so I kind of want to put that other adapter back on. I've had to do some stuff, and I'm probably going to continue doing it. JB Weld, lift this surface up and everything, get it up higher, something stronger and everything. Watch my last video, I explained why this did what it did, but and everything. It didn't melt, it was just... So we've got spark. Very hot spark. I went back to points. I probably explained that already. This carburetor's just wanting to flood out real bad, and fortunately any of the new kits that you get, the needle and seats they're not correct for them. You know, this is rocking the old school setup. So what I'm thinking is what this is doing is it's flooding. But it's good to see it was running. It's got, like I say, great spark. The plug angles on McCullough's are absolutely terrible. Ventilation system is kind of working. I need to clean my glasses is what I need to do. I'm thinking the needle and seat on this one just is not playing happy, is what it is. I'm going to have to go back, which I want to. I want to go back to that other carburetor. See if we can start this back up here. Temp gun. Let's see where things at after heat soaking a moment. If it fires up. The cylinder is at 123 degrees. It dropped pretty quick. Of course, it's got suction going on. The intake is at 111, 108, up close to the edge here, it's 107. Right here it's 85. Carburetor is still at 63 degrees. So, I mean, intake is still bulletproof. That's heat soaking for a few. Get to running and it'll probably cool off. But yeah, we've got spark and everything. It's just, I think it's flooding out is what its problem is. This carburetor, we need to do it, get that other one back on it. No amount of adjusting I was doing was making it happy. It just wanted to straight up feed it fuel like the dummy I'm doing right now. One more time, but I doubt it's going to fire. Yep. Got to swap out carbs. That's what we're going to have to do. Or you can put the spark plug wire back on. There's a great idea. Probably just reflooded it. That's great. See, everything wants to bounce towards it. The motor's coming loose from the table. That's just anti-vibration mounting is what that is. That's fine. When it starts up, just pull that out. Oh, come on, sweetie. Come on, sweetie. Pulling in a downward direction. Yeah, carburetor is flooding. I think we're going to go back to the Walbro, the big old Walbro. Yep. I got to get that adapter fixed. That's what I got to do. We'll be back shortly, maybe. don't know how well you can hear me. Ventilation's working fantastic in here. We hit 10,006, right? I don't want that on there. That is her first hot break-in, go run. That was excellent. The carburetor it's wanting to feed, not feed. It's doing some weird erratic stuff. I'm going to admit that. So, well, that's not directly touching, sort of. As long as it doesn't touch, we're fine. It ain't touching. So the head was 186 when running. The cylinder between the fins was between 160, 260, 270. The intake was about a buck, what was that, a buck 40, 140, 150, and everything. So we're going to take scientific tests now. Let's go ahead and let's get in here. It was running good. We were just going to keep going. So, light on, fire this thing up. Now we're in the heat soak stage. So the head is, depending on where it wants to read, we'll get close. We've got 200-ish. Between, we've got 240 and dropping, because the ventilation's also pulling out too. We've got, on the intake itself, 148 right there, which is the closest area. Yeah, see, 160. We've got right here, went right at there. We've got, that's staying pretty cool. 115-ish, 80. Yeah, as I get closer, it'll read better because there's heat radiating off. So 90 right there. The carburetor itself is at 60 degrees, which is 69, 70 in here-ish. So it is cooler than the air in here, which is to be expected on some. The exhaust is at a cool 229. So now we do the heat soaking stage here of it just sitting. But I think the carbon fiber intakes, the 3D printed, are going to successfully work out. We hit 10.6 on that. From what I saw, 10,600 RPM. This engine is strong. It is running great. The carburetor is iffy at its best, but this is all holding up to vibration. This thing was wobbling, all right? So, get the sweat off my head. Wow, this is exciting. I'm like really thrilled. The ventilation is fantastic. It is still a little smoky in here, but I'm going to say 90% of it went outside. It's much better than my last one where I was out of here in like 2 minutes. I was done. So it's fantastic. It's working great. It isn't getting any hotter, obviously. Heat soaking does help. I mean, it's not covered in shrouding or anything like that. So, but even so, heat is able readily to escape a little more. But this is about as real world as I can do on a bench next to putting it on a saw. But if it can work on a bench test, then I would presume that a saw is going to work, you know, pretty decently. I mean, the shroud here is warm. You know, it's got its warmth after sitting here heat soaking. But we were starting to hit air bubbles on the fuel and whatnot. It was starting to soak up that, but I don't think that was any problem. The Tygon's not affected by any of that. So, all right, let's take more readings here. Like I say, I was trying to be as scientific as I could. Bought a, you know, temp gauge, a probe, and stuff like that. So, go ahead. We'll get another close one of the head. So, we're at about 200 on the head-ish, give or take, whatever it feels like. 183. Between the fins, about 180-ish. Yeah, so she's cooling off pretty good. The intake itself is, it's reading 188. I still don't see any deformation. 100 right here. So heat does rise. It's going to go to the place that's quickest available. Oh, on the carburetor. 67. So everything is working good. Everything's in operating temperature. Working fantastic. As far as a restart, I was lucky to get it started last time. The carburetor, the metering needle is kind of working as it wants. It was doing good, lean out there in the end, and just running fantastic, exactly as you want it, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, running good. I think it's good. I think 3D printed intakes it's definitely It's definitely working out, and I don't see any deformation. I'm pushing over here by the exhaust, no melting going on. So, Brian, your gaskets are holding up fantastic, insulating, sealing off everything perfectly. Sealant is on them. Of course, I put that on these and everything, but it's working fantastic. I doubt it's going to do a restart for us, but yeah. What I was doing earlier was fiddling when I was trying to run it for a moment there. I was trying to get the batteries back in. Stupid me put the dang thing on the bench and it fell right off, so everything was just like vibrating everywhere. Are we in a position where everybody can see stuff? Ow! Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get a restart right now. My little screwdriver I was using. It wasn't the little screwdriver, but I doubt we're going to get a restart. Like I said, this carburetor was trying to flood. It was being finicky, iffy, whatever. Need to fix my starter rope here. Maybe a shot of love. Just ever so slight. But the points are working fantastic. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a restart on it. Not that it's because it's hot or anything. It's just because, like I say, that carburetor, I was lucky to get it last time. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Should get a better carburetor. So, my conclusion on these, 3D printed intakes are going to work. The ones I'm doing. I don't see any reason why not. For short runs and stuff and whatnot. I'm pretty sure for long runs it'll work just fine. I don't see why it wouldn't. I just don't see. Let's see, what did I do last time? I had to clamp the fuel line off last time. It vibrated this open. That's how much vibration there's on this bench. And the 1 horsepower engine I think I've got over here, from a dead start, cannot stop this. Even if I turn it and hit the belt on it, it cannot turn this engine over. It takes more than a horsepower initial start to get it going. Yeah, I think we're just straight up flooded. Because you're real cool just falling off like that. One more, and then we'll call it good. Really wanted a restart. Get that one guy. Where's the shot of ether? McCulloughs need those. Yeah, probably. Stubborn I am. You said one more. It's always one more. Yeah, we're good. Not that it won't restart, it's just starting it sucks. And like I say, the carburetor is very iffy on this. I was surprised it was leaning out for me and everything and wanting to cooperate that far, so we'll have to get a different one. I want to try to get that SCC, but I think for all testing purposes, I think we've gotten what we need out of this. I'll just take you all out of the dang stand here. Get my gloves off. But that's about as scientific as I can get at the moment for things and whatnot, but let's take some final temperatures here. A little toasty. Hold it right here. Start her up. 135. Between the cylinders, we've got 148. 138, which just didn't really get all that hot. 92 right there, and the carburetor itself 70. So I think we've got some good good data here showing that, yeah, usually if this was metal, I couldn't really hold my finger to it. For 148 degrees, it's holding up fantastic. I mean, yeah, it's pretty warm right here where I'm touching now. Next to the exhaust. I wish this thing would stay on longer than 12 seconds. 126. 145. 113. So right here on the cylinder, of course, is going to be like the hottest spot. 134. The bolt itself is 136, but the bolt's going to be the hottest because it's directly attached to the engine itself. Oh yeah, you can easily hold your finger on that. That's not going to burn you. Not going to hold my hand on the head for long, but all right. So that's telling me 3D printed intakes, at least the ones I'm doing, thumbs up. It's going to work out fantastic. I don't think we're going to have any problems with that. So, like I say, we've got some other stuff to get on the bench. This engine right here is ready to go in a project or whatever. I want to make some sloper ones that go to 45. So I'm going to have to take this, 45 it. I need to get a sloper intake. I have one on a saw, and I really don't want to take it apart, though. But I may have to do that. But I know some guys were talking about wanting some of these and everything. I can't imagine paying $100 for one of those intakes. That's dumb. Don't do that. So, as far as one guy, he asked if any be for sale. I don't know, but if you do, it's like, say, take my video, take your situation, what you plan to do, and take it with a grain of salt and everything. But I got to get inside. I got to finish off my day and everything and whatnot. So I don't know why I'm still zoomed out. There we go. Talking real loud here, my mistake. So anyways, like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we will get to getting here, doing more fun stuff on the bench and everything. If there's any tests I didn't do or whatnot, let me know in the comments. We'll go from there. I have had a request to get that MC30 put together and bench run it. So I will probably be doing that here in the future, and I will be using its official intake that come with the MC30s. But that's going to be a nice little put together build series and bench running and everything. So anyways, I'm Yemerin. Just let's say thanks for watching. You like what you see and everything, let me know. I'll try to get more of these printed out if anybody decides they do want one. I know the sloper is going to be what people want more for under chainsaws and stuff like that. I will try to figure out something for that and everything. But I'm Yemerin. Thanks for watching.